Hey guys, the Fieldside Chat is back for week 3, and we're coming to you from Masters Academy. It's off at 58th Avenue and 12th Street, and we're on the west side on the back fields, as you can see. We're pumped for this week. We have a great atmosphere. We have some great games too, guys, so we're gonna get to in a second. But first, let's talk about week 2 and what takeaways you guys have. Last week, in week 1, we had 3 close games and 1 blowout. This week was the opposite. We had 3 blowouts and 1 close game. Preston, what's your take on that?
Yeah, my takeaway is that the Hammers are definitely the best team unit that I've seen out of any team here. They gel really well. They're on the same page, despite for that last 4 minutes where they gave up 3 touchdowns to let the Hustlers come back. They looked dominant. They looked like they were controlling the game, even when it was closer in the first half. They looked like a team that knew what they were doing. They looked confident in their game plan, confident in their coach, and confident in each other to get the job done. I saw a level of trust I didn't see in other teams, and that's something scary, when you see that in a team this early in the season. For their sake, I hope that remains throughout the season. But for the rest of ours, I don't think we want that. But there's a good team. I saw a lot of different things offensively in their schemes, and it impressed me when I was watching that game. Liam?
The biggest takeaway I had from week 1 has to be the Dimes. The Dimes I think they're the most amazing team we've ever seen in VXFL history.
It's ridiculous.
And it's really just talent-wise, I mean, there's not even a lot of coaching that goes into it. It's just really the talent on that roster.
And Sean Josie and Chris Jacobs still haven't stepped foot on the field.
Sean Josie and Chris Jacobs still aren't there.
Offensive and defensive player of the year last year.
It's insane. The thing about this team, though, the catch, is that a lot of these players, Jaheim Drisdom, Sean Josie, will be gone before playoffs. So I think they're going to have a really good record. I think they're going to be unstoppable for the next few weeks.
It's just
Yeah, my big takeaway of the week was the big plays that we saw. I'm going to use my game as an example, the Hunters and the Goblins. The Hunters only completed 5 passes the entire game, but 3 of those 5 passes were all touchdowns, and I think that's something teams need to watch out for, these big plays that we're seeing.
That's a crazy stat.
Peter, I'm going to go along with that for a second and say another thing that impressed me to take away was the blocking downfield that allowed those plays to happen was tremendous. I know this morning when I had to practice with my team, and I remarked to them how well the Hammers blocked downfield, the Hunters blocked downfield, the Goblins blocked downfield on several plays, and that's what allowed those to open up. So that'll be important.
They even used defense to score a couple times. Michael Terpstra taking that pick 6 back.
Michael Terpstra had a pick 6.
Yeah, but I think this Hunter team they're a run-heavy offense.
Oh yeah.
Especially with when you have Omar Guevara as your coach, you're gonna run a lot. It just makes sense.
Yeah. So my biggest takeaway this week was just how much heart some teams showed. Like you said about the Hammers, but also I want to bring up the Giraffes. Going into that game with not knowing how many guys you're gonna have, having to substitute a guy in, and still playing with everything you have on that field. I mean, they gave us a run for our money the first half, and we were expecting a blowout. I was just very surprised by that, and shout out to the Giraffes for coming with that heart.
Yeah, Will's not here to further on that statement, but they might have the best social media presence out of any of our teams here. Their meme game is up there, so yeah, they're always fun to see what they're posting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway from week 2 is that the Pioneers could be a championship contender. They have the pieces to do it. You have Owen Case on the defensive side. He leads the league in sacks. You have Trevor O'Brien, who's the #1 overall pick and probably the best quarterback out of anybody out here, for sure. And then they have weapons like Brock Thomas, Stephen Delory, and Dylan Goldfarb. So they have the pieces to do it. It's just who they're going to play like. Are they going to play like the first half Pioneers we saw against the Giraffes, where they were down? You guys were down to a much lesser opponent. You guys just weren't working together really. But then that second half, man, something clicked. Trevor was hitting guys open. I mean, he was making the throws, and the defense shut the.
He was running
down
on the field too. I mean, he had a 55, 60-yard run too.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my guys about that. I mean, the reason why we were down the first half was no other reason but our lack of caring and heart. I mean, I saw nothing out of those guys. They were expecting a blowout, and they didn't play like they were down the whole game. So I didn't see.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd have to relate that to last year's game, which was the Cockerels versus the 0-4 Gunslingers. The upset of the season, and that team just went in expecting a blowout, showed no heart, and they went down big.
We did, but it was too late.
It was too late.
It was too late to come back. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I think if you guys lose a game, it's because you guys come in flat and can't pick it up in time. But no, I think you guys are a real contender, and I'm excited to see what the Pioneers do. I'm not looking forward to playing them. That's for sure. All right, guys, we had a lot of guys who played a great game, had some big plays and big impacts for these teams as they separate themselves from the pack. like I mentioned, these blowout wins, teams start to separate themselves, and MVP candidates, award winners start to separate themselves from the good players and then average players. Preston, who's your impact player from week 2?
Yeah, this week I got to go with the player who is his first week out there. I feel like he really changed the whole attitude of his team and the way they played. And I'm going to go with Ryan Shrigley. Even though the Giraffes lost, I feel like Ryan's impact on the team as a quarterback just changed how explosive and how capable their offense was at moving the ball. I feel like he improved a lot from where he was last year, throwing the ball and moving and feeling comfortable in the pocket. And he was moving and running. I think he ran for a touchdown, but
last year his biggest weakness was his mobility.
Yeah,
and he showed it off pretty well.
I think he even threw the ball on the run pretty well as well, and I think he's going to change their game when he's available. Obviously, it's that when he's available is the catch there, but he's a player that changes the way the Giraffes play. And obviously, Liam Besura is electric at quarterback, and I did just fine for him in week 1. But Ryan Shrigley adds a whole other element to the Giraffes game, and I think he's a huge impact player for them.
Yeah, the biggest impact player I saw out there had to be Cornell Wilson. I mean, it was his first week out there with the Dimes. The Dimes had a solid team week 1 against us, but Cornell Wilson just added another level of play. I think he caught a few touchdown passes. He had a few amazing catches. He just makes it easy for Jackson McGuire, and I'm sure he would agree with me if he was here. But that's the player who I think takes that team over the top. And like I said, that team might go downhill once they lose some of their players, but Cornell's going to be there the whole time, and I think he's going to help them a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it helps. How are you supposed to guard Cornell? You also have to worry about guarding Jaheim, Sean, Josie.
Now, I think he could be a real potential to win a couple of awards this year, whether it's offensive or defense player of the year, MVP. Yeah. He could win anything. He's that good of an athlete.
Yeah. My key player of the week is Will Morgan on the defensive side of the ball. He was really good out there against the Dimes, I believe. 2 interceptions, I think.
2 interceptions, yeah.
He's really good on the defensive side. He's got to pick it up on the offensive side for the Aces.
Yeah.
And I think once he does, the Aces are going to be a
And I'm going to say that's not his fault as much as it was our game plan, really. He was locked down by Jaheim most of the time. And, I think that's going to change. I really do.
Yeah, we're 2 weeks in. He still doesn't have a catch. I don't anticipate that going much further. I think it's going to have a big impact for the Aces. But still, it's a shocker to me.
Yeah, so my impact player this week was Trevor O'Brien. Second half Trevor O'Brien. Because really, it's not even that he wasn't a great player in the first half, it's that the team around him didn't care. He brought it back second half, people started caring, and he's one of the sole reasons why I think we won that ball game, along with the caring of our team.
Can I add impact player of the league, probably? I mean, one of the most dedicated players to the league, helping out, volunteering. I just want to shout out Trevor O'Brien right now for all he's done, getting there at 6:30 to help all of us set up, being one of the first guys there, one of the last to leave. Thank you, Trevor.
Yeah, thank you, Trevor. You've had an impact on all of us and obviously your team too, so keep it up. Yeah, my impact player, he probably has 2 of the top plays from this week. Is going to have 2 of the top plays from this week. He made some great catches. He led their offense. Amari McMillan for the Goblins. They sputtered at times, missed Mason Sweats this week. But he was their offense, whether it be running the ball, making one-handed catches, diving catches. I mean, he was incredible. He's one of the most electric players this week, and definitely the most exciting player to watch that I saw. I was always looking for them to pass the ball to him. I know Jarrett was too. Jarrett was always more to go. So it was great. I'm excited to see what he does in week 3 and how the offense transforms around him and Mason and Jarrett. All right, guys, and with that, we'll get to our predictions for this Saturday in week 3 here at Masters Academy. In our first game of the day, we have the Hustlers taking on the Goblins. I'm excited I think the Goblins will bounce back here. Hopefully the Hustlers bounce back as well. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited for this game. I think it's a really interesting matchup. The Goblins looked very good week 1, first half, with Mason Sweats and Marion connecting, and Jarrett Wolf being a key piece as well. And y'all really didn't look bad last week either. You just got down too much, and you had too little too late. And the Hustlers, same thing. We saw a lot late life in them. And we have the talent on the team. It's there. We've seen it. And so I feel like it's going to be a close game. It's going to be battled. But I feel towards the 4th quarter that the Hustlers are going to pull away, and the Hustlers are going to win this game due to Louis DeShower. And I think Trenton Graves was a piece of blocking as well. But Michael Gould's play, if he shows up and is committed, you'll have a serious chance to.
Well, obviously, I have to go with the Hustlers. And I think every team coming in the league, week 1, 2, you're still kind of figuring things out. you kind of get your bearings around week 3, week 4, and you get stuff going. You get people in the right places. You get the kind of offense and defense that you want to run. And I think we're really working towards that. And I think we're really close to that. So I think we're set for this game. Hustlers on top.
All right. I think Mason's going to be back. We're going to have Donovan, so I'm not going to be at blocker and blocking. And I think we're going to pull ahead. I think I'm going to go Goblins by 10.
You sure you want to keep it only 10, not 20?
Goblins by 10, yeah.
All right. Well, I do hear rumors about the Hustlers that Michael will not be their starting quarterback. If that is correct, I have Hustlers winning this game. Not much to it. They have a lot of talent on their team. Louis DeShower, our quarterback, electric, and they're going to bring home the win.
Let me speak on Michael Gould for a second because everyone loves to trash on him. Let's be honest. He's a great athlete.
Oh,
he is one of the best athletes out here.
Yeah.
Yesterday was not our last game was not testing him out at quarterback. It was not making him the quarterback. It was testing out where he works best on our team. We've found that place, and he will be playing there this week if he shows up, which he will. And you're gonna see the impact he has on the team.
Can we not fail to mention Donquell Wesley too?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Donquell, yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, he's been a beast these last couple weeks.
Yeah, that's a great pickup by the Hustlers. And I think the biggest impact or the biggest part of this Hustlers team, I think the reason they have a chance to win, I think they're going to beat the Goblins this week, is just because of that offensive line we saw last week. I came in blitzing too with me and Parker Townsend. I thought we were going to get through pretty well. I thought we had a chance to shut down Michael Gould and Louis DeShower. And Liam, Trenton, and Evan McLeod blocked for 4 quarters like college offensive linemen. Parker had to go to the chiropractor today because of his back. And Liam caught 2 touchdowns out of the backfield.
That was the dirtiest game I've ever played in my life against Peyton Keene because we had the dirtiest fight in the trenches. It was physical. The most physical fight in the trenches. I was in pain. I know you were in pain.
Oh, absolutely.
It was rough. It was rough up front.
It was a blast. I wouldn't have it any other way. But this team has talent outside that too. They have Louis DeShower. They have Donquell Wesley. They have Michael Gould.
Willie Pfeiffer.
Yeah, Willie Pfeiffer.
Oh, yeah.
He's fast, man. He's might be one of the fastest in the league.
Yeah.
So if they get to the edge, it's going to be scary what they can do. The Goblins, though, if Mason Sweats and Amari McMillan are there with Jarrett Wolf, I like this team. I keep picking them, and I keep getting them wrong. But I think they're going to have a game where they just absolutely annihilate somebody. I think they're going to come out, that team's going to come out flat, I think they can beat them, and they're going to win. I don't think it's going to happen this week. I think the Hustlers are going to pull it out. They're going to bounce back. But, man, I like the Goblins, too. But I do think that offensive line is going to help them win this game. All right, guys, and for our second game of the day, we have the Hammers taking on the Giraffes at 10:30 right here. Preston, what do you have?
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see this matchup. 2 old teammates going at it, Will and Peyton over here. And I think both have good teams. However, I think the Hammers have a great team. Like I was touching on earlier, they look like a team, and they impressed me with the way they played as a team. And just the way they ran their offense impressed me. Obviously, Wendell is a weapon that's near impossible to stop. We saw him run backwards and escape pressure and just make phenomenal plays. We saw him run. It might have been one of the best plays of the day, run and avoid like 5-6 defenders for a touchdown. So he's obviously a tough piece to stop, but outside that, we've talked about all the other guys like Caleb Herndon, Jamie Perbula.
Caleb Herndon will not be there.
Caleb Herndon's out. So that's obviously a big hit, but you also wonder who will the Giraffes be missing. They have a lot of baseball players who are out of town, and the Ryan Shrigley, Zach Sigmunds, and that's what you worry about for them. So I'm gonna have to go Hammers here. I think they have a strong team, especially heading into week 3. I think they're on solid ground, and I'm expecting a comfortable victory here.
Look, I love the Giraffes. I'm gonna be honest. I love Liam Basura, love Ryan Shrigley. I love the team they have there. Zach Sigmund, and I know a few of them aren't going to be there this week, but playing against Wendell Bethel is a whole different game. He'll just run around, and you can't really do much to stop him. There's not many guys who can even get to him. We struggled with it last week, and I got to take the Hammers in this one. Even though I like that Giraffes team, I'm thinking Hammers by 20, 15. I'll give him 15.
Please don't jinx me, Liam.
Yeah, I want to say 20.
Hammers by 50.
I think the Giraffes have a chance here. I saw them last week against the Pioneers, only rushing 1 the entire game. I don't think that's going to cut it against Wendell. They have to rush 2, but I still don't think it's going to be enough. With Jamie Perbula on the offensive side, I'm going to give it to the Hammers by 10.
Well, I'm just going to start off saying I'm going to give it to the Hammers, and it's not even going to be close. I think this might be one of the biggest blowouts in BXFL history just because of the guys you see the Giraffes missing. They play with a lot of heart, but the Hammers are just unstoppable. And it's not even playing against Wendell Bethel. You're playing against Wendell Bethel and the mind of Peyton Keene behind that offense and behind that defense. And, no team's been able to stop it so far, and I don't think the Giraffes are going to be the first.
I want to shout out one guy I forgot to mention, too, Jimmy. What's his last name?
Jimmy Durant. James Durant.
James Durant.
We call him Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy's the nickname. I watched him a lot last week, and he was a phenomenal athlete for y'all. I know he played all over the field, and he doesn't look like a great athlete. And he looks like a big guy, but he blocked, he caught. I have video of him juking someone out, and it was impressive for me to see a full team of guys like that were just so athletic, and that's why I feel like y'all are so hard to stop right now.
Yeah, I don't want to get too excited right now because it's only been 2 weeks, and week 3 was really our downfall last year with the Cockerels, so I'm not going to talk too big on that, but I really do think it depends on who comes out for the drafts and who we can get out there. We're excited to play Lamb. Last year I coached Lamb, I coached Will, I coached Logan Roth, who we still haven't seen, and I coached Ryan Strigley. I'm excited to play these guys. I know they're excited to play me. So we're looking forward to the challenge for sure. I think with the guys like Kewan Roberts out there, Liam Basura, if you get Logan Roth, on defense, even on offense, his vertical threat, his speed, something to be scared of. And we're missing Caleb Herndon, who's played great safety over the top for us and giving us a spark on offense when we need it.
So basically what Peyton is saying is the Giraffes are going to win.
I'm not saying that, though. I think we have a good game plan. I don't think you can really prepare for this because the Giraffes we saw week 1 and the Giraffes we saw week 2 were completely different teams. But I do think the Hammers, we have a game plan. We're excited to go play these guys. We have the energy. I think we're going to pull it out. I'm not going to say about how much. I just think we're going to pull it out with the win. So, yeah, Hammers on top. All right, guys, and for Game 3, we have a rematch between the old teams. We have the Pioneers playing the Aces. Austin was a player under Preston last year, and now he's taking him on as a coach. Preston, what do you say about that?
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. Austin being the most dedicated player of the year last year and under my wing, and it was great having him on my team. But, now he's got a 2-0 team. I got the 0-2 team, and we get to play each other, and I'm stoked about this game. I feel like last week I was proud of how our team handled the dimes. We were just outmatched talent-wise. We were missing guys like Steven Spengler and Nate Ginn, who I feel like if we have them, we have a great chance to win in that game. But even without them, we had chances. And I feel like this week we're going to cross that bridge, and we're going to convert those 3rd and shorts, 4th and shorts, and punch the ball in more. I feel like we have a great game plan. I feel like Jackson Gravely, incoming freshman, is an outstanding leader, outstanding quarterback, and you see the talent that's there that he'll eventually grow into one day, but is still a great quarterback in the league right now. And I'm excited for us moving forward. Steven Spengler will be back this week, and I feel like that'll help us a lot. Just adding a weapon to defend. The Pioneers are obviously a great team. You don't go 2-0 without being great. And, Trevor O'Brien's tough to stop, along with, Stephen Delory, Brock Thomas, Ben Fadiomi, all those guys. So I'm not looking forward to having to stop all them, but I feel really confident this week that we'll get our first win. Aces on top.
I watched the film from the Aces game last week. Well, I watched the game. I refereed that game, actually. And I saw one main target, and it was this man right here, Preston Keene. And obviously they're going to have Steven Spangler back next week. But I think if you lock up their main guys and Preston Keene and even Steven, wherever he plays, I think it's going to be a win for the Pioneers. Do I think the Pioneers have the personnel to do that? I think they might. So, I got to go with the Pioneers. I think their offense is really good. I think their defense has been getting better each week. So yeah, I do think it's going to be a close game though, because I think the Aces are getting better week by week, and I think they are going to get some footing eventually in this league.
I'm going to go a little bold here. I'm going to say there's not going to be a single winless team after this week. I'm going to give the Aces their first win this week against the Pioneers. I think it's going to be an upset. I think it's going to be a long game, but I think in the 4th quarter, the Aces are going to win by 3 against the Pioneers.
All right, so I'm obviously taking the Pioneers. For what reasons, I'll explain now. The Aces are a great team. Preston's a great coach. But the Pioneer team that we're seeing next week is nothing that anybody's seen before, just because, I did not like our performance last week, first half. So we're changing a lot of things up. I've seen the zone coverages that the Aces run. I've seen their tendencies on offense and defense. And I think I'm going to have the ability to pick that off with some of my other skilled players on the Pioneers. So I'm going to have Pioneers winning. I think it's going to be a tough game, but I say Pioneers win.
Yeah, earlier in the show I mentioned that I thought the Pioneers were a championship contender, and I thought it was going to be bold like Peter, but The Aces are a good team if they have the right pieces. I saw Jackson Gravely play last week when I was refereeing with Liam, and he sees the field very well, especially for his age.
I feel like he's one of the smartest quarterbacks in the league. You know, my bold prediction there. You can go ahead. He's one of the smartest quarterbacks in the league.
I totally agree. I think he's because I knew him before the league, you know, and he's a very smart 8th grader. He's probably one of the smartest football IQs for an 8th grader that I've ever seen.
His mind on the field and knowing where to go with the ball before the play started, that really just, it scared me. I'm not looking forward to playing week 8 after he's had all these games under his belt. But I think with Steven back, it's going to be hard for the Pioneers to stop it. I'm afraid they're going to come out a little flat. I do think they're going to pull it out. I don't think the Aces are going to get the first win this week. Just because of the talent. I mean, Stephen DeLore still hasn't had a huge impact for you guys. But I think this week he's gonna show out, and he might win Offensive Player of the Week. I think.
I agree.
I think he's gonna have a big week. I don't think they have the talent to guard all your threats like Brock Thomas, like Ben Fadiomi, like Stephen DeLore, like Dylan Goldfarb. I mean, those are some talented guys, and I don't think they have the depth to do it. They might have the game plan to stop it for a little while. I think they've only scored 13 points so far this season. 6 the first game, 7 this game. I think they're going to score more than 13 in this game. I do. I think that Jackson Gravely is going to master this offense. Preston's going to have a big first quarter, and then I think Will Morgan's finally going to get his first catch and first touchdown this game. So I'm excited for this game. I think it's going to be closer than people think, but I do think the Pioneers are going to pull it out.
I definitely think it's going to be a really high-scoring game. You know, I see both the defenses. I don't think the Pioneers' defense is where it should be yet. So I think if the Aces, you know, put all the right game plans into play, then it'll be high scoring on both sides.
Yeah, honestly, I think that the Pioneers have one really, really good blitzer in Owen Casey, and I think that'll allow Jackson Gravely to just choose one side of the field to go with. I think that's how they're going to run their offense pretty much. And then for the Aces, they have a good blitz, but their coverage guys are subpar to the wide receivers of the Pioneers, I think. They could prove me wrong. I think it's going to be a great game, great battle out there, so I'm excited for that one. And for our last game of the day, guys, we have the Dimes taking on the Hunters, one of the most talented teams in the Dimes, and then one of the most trash-talking, competitive, it's just spirit-filled teams. They're one of my favorite teams to watch just because of their attitudes. Man, they're always talking. Matt Biondi out there, Peter DeLuke, man, I love him. Preston?
Man, you said it perfectly. The Hunters can talk some trash, led by none other than Peter DeLuke and Omar Gavar. I mean, it's incredible what they come up with. Towing the line, sometimes stepping over the line with what they say, but it is incredible what they come up with. There's no doubt they have heart. And they have talent to back it up. I mean, Omar had a great game last week, as well as the first week, and I feel like he's done a great job of leading that team. You know, they're a bunch of friends, guys that know each other, and that definitely helps with chemistry and starting off on the right foot. I felt like they didn't have as big a problem as some other teams. You know, like I know myself and my team of coming out the first week, getting to know each other still, you know, still trying to mold as a team. They'd had that bond, which helps. However, we mentioned the Dimes and their talent, and I don't know how any team right now can beat the Dimes. They're Jaheim Cornell just throwing it up to them, along with Christopher Jacobs and Sean Josie coming back. It's going to be exciting to watch them at the full strength, and I'm glad I'm not playing them this week either. I have the Dimes winning by multiple scores.
Yeah, I mean, Peyton said it perfectly. These are the two biggest trash-talking teams in the league. And I got to go with the Hunters winning in the trash-talking game. You know, I think players like Peter DeLuke, Matt Biondi, best trash-talking in the game. But if you go football-wise, the Dimes are going to win. You know, I mean, let's look at it. Look at their talent they have, at least for these next few weeks. And Cornell Wilson.
Can we give Jax McGuire the easiest job in the league right now?
Yeah.
He has the easiest job of
right now.
quarterback.
Jax McGuire leads the league in passing yards.
He's like an Alabama quarterback.
He is. I mean, he equates to Mac Jones right now. I think you know, he just throws up, someone's going to catch it.
That's exactly it. Yeah, you throw it up, and
I could be mistaken, but I think he leads the league in passing yards, passing touchdowns, and interceptions.
There you go.
It's like a Jameis Winston type offense. You just throw it up, and someone catches it.
You know,
either
I think
offense
he even
or
said
defense.
that in the broadcast at some point that he would just had a bad habit of if he heard his name called, he'd throw it that direction, and somebody would come down with it or it'd be picked off. And you know, when you can do that and have somewhat success, you're scary as an offense.
And don't forget defense. Chris Jacobs I think he's gonna be back. I'm not sure. I haven't heard for sure. But if he's back this week, their blitz just got that much harder to stop.
I mean, Holden Campbell did a great job last week. And one player that surprised me for the Dimes is Jackson Tedrowski. Man, big kid, strong kid, who did a great job blocking for him. I'm excited to see him play again.
Yeah, so I got Dimes by 25.
One name that I have not heard been brought up is Jonas Taylor from the Hunters.
Oh, yeah.
I was snapping the ball for my team last week, and every time I'd snap it, he'd already be at Jarrett. So we had to put someone on him. I think if the Dimes do put someone on him, I don't think it's going to be a close game at all. I think the Dimes could possibly score in the 50s. So I got.
It could be.
Hey, I could see that happening.
It
I
could
could
be,
see that
yeah.
happening.
Wow. The way they're playing right now.
Yeah, I think a lot of it also depends on Andrew Clipstein's performance.
Yeah, for sure.
And we saw him drop a couple balls last week, a couple the first week, and
then
he's
rebounded.
obviously a great receiver. But, you know, you expect him to go make the easy catches especially, but also those contested catches. I can think of one right now on the sideline that could have just swung the game if he comes down with it and just, you know, put it away easily. But, you know, he's a great player. I trust him to figure it out, but that's an important piece.
I got the Dimes by a lot.
Sorry.
That's fine.
You know, I'm one that loves picking the Hunters. You know, I picked them last week when no one else did besides Omar. My prediction turned out to be right. But I'm not doing that this week. You know, I just don't think they have the guys to compete. I love Omar. I know he's going to get really mad hearing me say this. But, you know, Jaheim is going to make Omar look small. You know, Omar is one of the best athletes on their team, and you put the ball up and he'll come down with it. If Jaheim's guarding Omar, Omar's not coming down with that ball, majority of the time.
Listen, I've never met a guy who takes things as personal as Omar Guevara. When he hears this, he is going to rage.
Love you, Omar.
I think he's going to have a good game just because of that. But if the final score reflected the trash-talking ability, it'd be the Hunters by big.
I mean, there is no such thing as a respectful opinion for Omar. Everything is personal. I mean, we're just fuel on fire right here.
Last year that worked great for the Cox, man. We love that. But this year, I don't think it's going to work the same way. I think that the Dimes have just a crazy amount of talent, just unbelievable amount of talent. I don't think it's going to be close. I think maybe the Dimes get comfortable once they go up 2 scores. The Hunters bring it back, and the Dimes score 5 more times. It could be a blowout. I just don't know how you stop that. I'm glad I don't have to game plan for it yet. I can't begin to describe how good these Dimes look when everyone's there. I mean, we didn't even mention them, but Deion Collins.
Yeah.
Deion Collins is good too, man. I mean, they have probably the best receiving core we've ever seen in the VXFL. And then Jackson's played decent quarterback as well. Leads the league in passing yards. So yeah, they're explosive. If you want some offense, come watch this game. If you want some good catches, watch this game. 1:30 right here. You're gonna want to see this game. All right, guys. Our favorite segment. It was great last week. You had one job. We have some questionable plays, some questionable calls, and some questionable celebrations to go over this week. Preston, start us off.
All right, I got to go to the Hunters for this one. I got to go to Matt Biondi, one of my favorite players in the league. So much energy, but the energy overcame him in this celebration. Man, Michael Terpstra is picking off the ball, running for the end zone, scores on a pick 6, but the celebration gets a little too much and gets the best of Matthew Biondi as he falls and slips on his back. Man, Matthew, I just want you to be careful. You know, we've seen in the professional sports, college sports, the guys celebrating too hard and ending their seasons on injuries because of that, or even their careers. So we just want you to be safe. Come on, Matt. You have one job.
I got to go with Josh Nolan on his atrocious snap, you know, on the first play of offense for the Aces. You know, I expected a blowout going into the game, and when I saw that, I remember I looked at Peyton and I was like,
rolling, man.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, okay, it's going to happen, you know. I think if I could demonstrate it right now, it was here, and then it went like that. That was the whole snap right there. And I think Holden Campbell just fell on it. The Dimes drove back, scored again.
And it was 14-0 before they got the ball back.
It was there were not even like 3 minutes of the game had passed. It was 14-0.
You had one job goes to John De La Torres, the center for the Hunters. I don't know. He's a really good blocker. I don't know what was going on with the snaps, but there was 4 or 5 snaps that were going over Cam Burns' head.
I was playing dodgeball in the backfield trying to ref that game.
Yeah. I don't know. He's a really good blocker, though, but you had one job.
I think he'll clean it up.
Mine, you had one job, goes to Ryan Strickland. For the play where, you know, 4th down situation, half of your guys aren't, you know, looking out into space because they don't think you're ready to snap the ball yet. And you snap the ball, run to the line of scrimmage thinking it's the first down.
It was like 4th and 15.
Yeah, 4th and 15. You know, runs to the spot marker.
My favorite part was him stretching the ball across like he's going to get the first down.
Exactly. Passes the center and thinks
in Ryan's defense, it is his first week. He might not be used to our new chain gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, quick shout out to the chain gang.
Yeah, great job. Ryan is not aware of what's going on.
Yeah, not on the chain gang this time. He was on Ryan.
Sorry, Ryan. All right, my U had one job, has to go to Michael Gould here. The Hustlers only had 7 players, and lo and behold, Michael Gould subs out and is standing on the sideline. This is the most Michael Gould thing I've ever seen. Like, he came back in, and he actually had a touchdown, I think, on one of the very next plays. But Michael Gould, 7 guys have to be on the field. We need you on the field, buddy. So, yeah, take a water break at a different time.
Let me just say, I was not aware of this during the game. I was told this after the game, so I will talk to my players about that.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us. We look forward to seeing you out here at Masters Academy. Don't forget, it's off of 58th and 12th Street on the west side of the campus. We're excited to be here. We have some great games, some great offense. Man, I'm excited for this week. I can't wait to see you guys on Saturday. Be here, 9 a.m. All right, guys, we'd just like to thank Next Level Productions for making all this possible. Next Level Productions provided us with the equipment, the sound system, I mean, a bunch of stuff just to make the Fieldside chats possible, the broadcasts you see on YouTube, really all of our media stuff.
If you see that production tent, just about everything in there is from Next Level Productions, and we're so thankful for them for making this possible for us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, guys. We really appreciate it.